Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Wednesday, the 7th of November 2023. In today's Millwall news, we have pictures from Joe Edwards' first Mill training session as head coach. Mill head coach. Joe Edwards took his first training session at Calmont Road on Tuesday afternoon, assisted by Andy Myers and further backroom staff. Edwards put his players through their paces as preparations for Saturday's Sky Bet Championship trip to Sheffield Wednesday continued. Take a look at a selection of images in our gallery below. So here you can see yellow balls now. We're on to the yellow balls. Adam Barrett, just showing you that he's still there. Let's just go back to that one. Okay. Where's Harding there? There you go. A lot of standing around. Obviously, he's explaining things to them. Hopefully, they understand it, and it's not too difficult for them. Careful, Danny. There, don't injure a dummy. You can see a few players there from the under 29s: Kamal Grant, Nino Malachi, and we're back round again. So there you go. Moving on to this from londonnewsonline.co.uk, South London Press's online website. Millwall's new man Joe Edwards has plenty of head coach experience and learned off Chelsea's elite names. Joe Edwards has talked about his extensive head coach experience after taking on that job at Millwall. The Lions confirmed the 37-year-old's appointment yesterday afternoon. Edwards will take his first session with the Millwall players this morning, with Saturday's trip to Sheffield Wednesday's first match in charge, and obviously just seen the pictures from that first training session. Edwards had more than 2 decades of academy coaching at Chelsea before being part of their senior management team under both Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel. He joined Lampard at Everton, taking on the role of number 2 before being appointed England under 20 head coach in August. People will talk about it being my first time as head coach at senior level, Edwards told Millwall TV Plus. At Chelsea, when I was working in the academy at Chelsea, my role was predominantly working as a head coach, right from the under 18s with the FA Youth Cup to the under 23s and more recently with England. There is some head coach experience there, plenty. The vast majority, my coaching, that is what I was. I would be the one setting the direction of where we were going and making decisions, substitutions, and coordinating with the staff. I feel well prepared in that sense. I know it's going to be a bigger beast here. People will know that, unfortunately, for managers at Chelsea in the past and historically, in a really successful era, that they would lose their jobs fairly often. The realistic benefit to people like myself is that position is that we saw a lot of different managers work. I've seen several world-class managers up close and personal. Not just in good times, seeing people win Premier Leagues and all sorts of trophies, but also the tough times. As a young coach, you realise how lucky you are to get this opportunity and access. You always look at it and think, okay, what can I learn and take from that? It's easy when it's positive, but when things unravel and it's tough times, you step back and think, what happened there and how did that play out? Because 6 months ago, everything was great, and I'm a very reflective person. I like to learn and ask questions. In more recent years, when I've been part of the first team setup, I've extended that with the top managers I've worked with, Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel, just living it with them, those high pressure environments at both ends. I've been in team meetings and dressing rooms before a championship final, but then you go to Everton and we're in a relegation battle. There are games where we're 5 points in a relegation game, going into the game knowing we have to win it. They are the type of things that give you experience. Until you go through it, you're not quite sure what you're going to learn from it. Edwards will look to put his own stamp on the Millwall side that had worked with predecessor Gary Rowett for 4 years. Edwards said, "If you look at the Championship this season, then the style of play means there are far more possession-based teams in it. If you look at the likes of Southampton and Leicester, in that recent home game against Southampton, it was tough. Leicester can dominate games like that. The profile of teams and style of football is what you typically expect to see at the top level of the game. It's starting to filter into the Championship a lot more. In terms of coaching experience, although I've seen loads of different philosophies and playing styles, ways managers like to work. Of course, I have my own beliefs and preferences. So if you said to me, what do you want one of your teams to look like? And I'll have a picture of that. But you get through youth development, working through the academy as a strong understanding that coaching, at its best, is getting the best out of the players and staff that you're working with. You can get the best out of people and put them in systems and coach them to really see them flourish. Ultimately, the product of that is the team getting success. And that will be the balance here. We have to recognise there are a lot of good foundations with these players and around the squad. And of course, I'm coming in as a new coach with a freshness and new ideas, but we're not going to try and reinvent the squad and revamp it in a few weeks or a few games. So what's the point then? What are you doing differently? Well, I'm sure there will be changes. Now, from millwallfc.co.uk, the club's official website, Millwall chairman James Berylson talks over Joe Edwards' appointment. James Berylson has spoken to Millwall TV Plus following the appointment of Joe Edwards as head coach on Monday afternoon. The Lions chairman sat down to discuss the hiring of the former England under-20s lead man, amongst other subjects, beginning by detailing how the list of applicants was shortened down. It was a really thorough process, Berylson told millwallfc.co.uk. Alex and Steve did a great job bringing a list of candidates down to just a few, and that was really helpful for me. I got to learn a lot about football through meeting these great managers. As we move on, we take things very seriously, not just results on the pitch, but that they also represent the club. The 37-year-old was selected by Berylson as the man to take the club to the next level, with his knowledge of the game apparent, according to the chairman. He added, with Joe, I'm incredibly excited. He's a great person, is very innovative, and can do a lot of great things. When I met him, it clicked immediately and felt like he's someone who could take us to the next level. When he presented his knowledge of football, it was very apparent. I think the fans will really take to him. We know it's not an overnight thing, though. Over a period of 2, 3, 4 years, he can continue us on this great trajectory. An exclusive interview with James Berylson can be seen above, in which he talks about taking charge since the tragic passing of his father John, his hopes for the football club moving forward, and much, much more. So, this video is available to Millwall TV Plus subscribers. That's the one where you pay £5 a month, or it's like £60 a year. You get full match replays, like a day and a half after the games have taken place. You get extended highlights, stuff like that. So it's an exclusive until 9 AM on Wednesday. It will then be made free to air to all Lions supporters with Millwall profile. So you just have to have an account and log in, and you can view it. So there you go. Can you wait, or do you want to get in now? Dearly departed to mutually departed. Paul Robinson, as expected, mutually agrees Millwall departure. So he mutually agreed to depart. Millwall Football Club can confirm the first team coach Paul Robinson, not that one, has mutually agreed to depart the Den. The 44-year-old joined the Lions in July 2021 as part of then manager Gary Rowett's backroom team, and leaves having made a superb impact on and off the pitch with players and staff alike. Robinson's wealth of experience and knowledge contributed significantly to 2 full successful seasons during his time with Millwall, and he leaves with the best wishes of everybody at the club. Alex Aldridge, Director of Football Operations and Recruitment, said, "I would like to personally thank Paul for all his incredibly hard work and dedication throughout his time at Millwall. The impact of his work will be felt by the players he worked with closely for the rest of their careers, and no doubt the staff at Cavan Road too. Paul has a long coaching career ahead of him, and we wish him the very best for the future. Robinson added, I fully enjoyed my time at Millwall, working with a very special set of players and staff behind the scenes. Collectively, we've achieved some great things, and there's no doubt progress has been made on and off the pitch. I wish the new management team and the club every success for the future. So there you go. Paul Robinson has been mutually departed by Millwall. That is a new euphemism for sacked. Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. At some point, you've got to be brave. Millwall Chief Executive Steve Kavanagh exclusively reveals why the Lions appointed Joe Edwards. Because he was cheap? There were many candidates in the running to replace Gary Rowett, but Joe Edwards impressed most during a demanding interview process when he told them how much he wanted per week. Steve Kavanagh has revealed how Joe Edwards won Millwall Chiefs over in the fight to be the Lions' next manager. The 37-year-old was appointed as head coach at the Den yesterday, picking a number of other candidates to the role. It is Edwards' first senior management job as he replaces Gary Rowett, who was Millwall's boss for almost 4 years, before leaving by mutual consent. Edwards ended up doing 3 interviews to land the role, attempting to impress the likes of Kavanagh, Chairman James Berylson, and Director of Football Operations and Recruitment Alex Aldridge, who were leading the process. With interviews potentially lasting up to 3 hours, Edwards' freshness helped to give him the edge. Chief Executive Kavanagh has exclusively told News Joe came into the process, and as a process, we like to see a broad range of people, and in that you look at some of the different strategies and up-and-coming coaches, and as part of that, we met with Joe. Joe was exceptionally impressive in the way he come across, with his drive, energy, and desire. And when you actually look at some of his background and history, and while he's never been a manager, he's got first-team experience and a wealth of experience operating at a very high level. When you meet Joe and you talk to Joe, you realise that he's an intelligent, articulate young man who's hungry for success. And with Joe, that freshness probably just gave us a different approach, which at some point you've got to be brave. Any decision to appoint any head coach is a brave decision because they all have different aspects to them. But we felt Joe was the right fit and it was the right time to take that step and go in that direction. The interview process was demanding, with candidates first meeting senior members of the club for long meetings to describe their ideas and footballing backgrounds. Those who made it through to the second round were then set tasks that tested their analyst skills. Kavanagh says Chairman Berylson was heavily involved in the process. He said, we met with a substantial number of people in the first round. We were having probably 2 or 3 hour meetings with each of them, just sitting around and talking football. Talking about their backgrounds and getting them talking and understanding what goes on. We brought a number of people back for a second round where we set them a task and they met with the chairman. We set them detailed tasks on analysing history, games, squads, players. So when they come in, we can really get a good feel for how and what they wanted. I'm sure it's a process or a similar process to what all clubs run. And then behind that, you look at the data, you look at the references, you talk to people who know people and try and understand exactly what and who it is that you're taking that next step with. It's a huge amount of work, not just meeting with them, but understanding styles of play, historical positions on them, and really just trying to understand what they are. It's a long, detailed process, and it takes time. You could go out and just appoint the next obvious candidate, but actually taking your time to make sure that you've covered every base, and by doing that, you probably maybe you come up with an answer like Joe Edwards rather than someone else. So there you go. Now, moving on to, you may have seen him in the pictures, this chap here. His name is Andy Myers. Myers leaves Chelsea after 13 years to become Millwall assistant. This is from Training Ground Guru, all things football coaching and support staff. Andy Myers has left Chelsea after 13 years to become Joe Edwards' assistant at Millwall. Myers made more than 100 appearances for the Blues as a player and first joined their academy coaching staff as part-time under-14s assistant in 2010-11. His first full-time role was as under-15s lead, and he went on to become development squad under-23s assistant to Edwards, assistant manager at sister club Vitesse Arnhem, under 18s lead, under 21s lead, and since the summer of 2022, technical line coach. Edwards was a schoolboy player with the Blues before being released at the age of 16. His coaching career started with the youngest players at the academy in 2004, and he took charge of the under 18s for a 2-year spell from 14-15, during which time they won back-to-back FA Youth Cups. After that, he was promoted to lead coach of the development squad, guiding them to semi-finals of the Senior Checkatrade Trophy, the furthest any academy side has got in the competition. The under-19s also finished as runners-up in the UEFA Youth League in successive seasons. Edwards was appointed Chelsea assistant under Frank Lampard in the summer of 2019 and remained under Thomas Tuchel, forming part of that staff that won the Champions League. He joined Lampard at Everton and Chelsea and was appointed England under-20s lead earlier this summer, a role he will now relinquish. Adam Barrett, who has overseen Mill's last 4 matches on a caretaker basis, will remain as assistant under Edwards. Goalkeeper coach Andy Marshall will stay on too. Edwards said, we've read those quotes. So there you go. That's Andy Myers there. He's the new assistant. So we've got 2 assistants. We got a head coach and 2 assistant coaches, and a goalkeeping coach. Now, pictures from Saturday. Here you go. Mill Remember at the Den. Millwall Football Club hosted its annual Remembrance Day fixture at the Den on Saturday afternoon. Before the action got underway, bugler band Sergeant Tony Addy, flanked by further reef-carrying service personnel, led the teams onto the pitch before playing the last post during a minute's silence. Elsewhere, bucket collectors were situated outside the ground, raising funds for the Poppy Appeal, with a final total to be revealed in the coming days. You gave them so much money that they are still counting it. Can you believe it? It was a record crowd, 18,905, so understandable. The Lions also wore poppies on their shirts, which are currently being auctioned, with all monies raised going to the Royal British Legion Poppy Appeal. Go to matchwornshirt.com/Millwall for information on that. A gallery from the day can be seen below, so there you go. Gonna flick through these. And these are the t-shirts, the warm-up shirts that they're also auctioning, which in my mind they're a bit more unique. Obviously, match-worn football shirt. Obviously, it's a match-worn football shirt, but it's a football shirt you can buy from the club shop, and you can get the numbers on, you can get the names on, you can go and get the player to sign it. But this is kind of unique. So yeah. There she is there. Remember her? Queen Elizabeth II. Oh God, I miss her so much. King's speech today, did you see that? What a load of old shit that was. And we're back round, so there you go. Now, moving on to this from southernnews.co.uk. Life-saving bleed control kits are installed at Mill's ground by young fan and his dad. The football's not that bad, is it? Why are they putting them down there? Is it for the Millwall fans or for the locals? I don't know. By the time they got there, Dad had 28 stab wounds, said the 44-year-old activist. Jesus, who has to count that? 2 life-saving bleed control cabinets have been installed at Millwall FC by a man on a mission to get them everywhere after watching his dad bleed to death as a child. Matt Lane, a property manager from Dartford, visited the ground on Saturday, November the 4th, with his son, 8-year-old Millwall fan Teddy, to install the kits. Coincidentally, it was the same day Teddy was the Millwall mascot, said the proud dad, so we were able to do it before the game. They installed one cabinet in the Lewisham Lions Centre, one in the Hubs Mill Community Trust, and another inside Mill's ground known as the Den. I'm gonna guess that is in the East Lower, because it gets a bit naughty down there. Maybe in the East Upper, by the away fans. It's all part of Matt's campaign to get life-saving equipment everywhere following a personal tragedy. Now 44, Matt told us he was just 12 years old when his dad was attacked at their home in Dartford 30 years ago. I remember I opened a door to a group of men, he told us. They were stood there with a samurai sword and axe and other weapons. He tried to stab me at first, but Dad pushed me out of the way. Then they dragged him out of the house and started stabbing him. He later found out that this was a result of an argument between neighbours that had nothing to do with his dad, but he was targeted because they thought he might have seen or heard the altercation. Matt said they called the ambulance and police straight away, but said he remembers the police taking a long time to arrive. The paramedics arrived first, but they couldn't enter the scene without the police due to the nature of the attack. I essentially watched him bleed to death for 45 minutes. Whilst an ambulance was sat 100 metres away, he recalled. By the time they got there, my dad had 28 stab wounds. His dad tragically died later on in hospital, aged 35. Matt said as a child he didn't look into it, but more recently was inspired to do something when he came across his dad's post-mortem papers. I wanted to see how I could go about helping someone in the future, so I came across these kits and started buying them from this website and giving them out to places I thought could benefit from having them. Inside the kit provided by Mere Supplies Limited is a selection of medical supplies to treat critical bleeding, which can be fatal in as little as 3 to 5 minutes. The kit can buy time before someone is able to get medical help. Even though this mission is inspired by my dad who was stabbed, these kits can be used for anything, so I don't call them stab kits. Someone might fall over or have a car accident, for instance. Okay, yeah. Well, I guess if someone gets a smack on the head from a police truncheon from a policeman on a horse, they could be used for that, I guess. I guess that's why they installed them at Millwall. Even though this mission is inspired by my dad, who was the... Oh, yeah, I've read that, sorry. So far, he's installed about 10 in this area and 2 in London. But he thought to reach out to Millwall Football Club after thinking stadiums would be a good place to have this sort of kit. Well, Millwall Stadium? Millwall Stadium? Has anyone ever been stabbed at Millwall? That's probably a really naive question, but there's usually like fisticuffs and stuff like that, no? Obviously, you got the Everton fan who got slashed around the face. That was on the Alkstone Road near Surrey Quays, so. And that was just a slash, like, you know, stab, 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 jab, jab, jab. 2 Millwall players, Ian Fleming and George Saville, joined them on the day of the unveiling of the cabinets, which are weatherproof and have a few kits inside. When somebody dials 999 to report an incident, control staff direct the caller to the nearest kit and tell them step by step how to treat the victim. Matt, who also works as a fight inspector for UFC and Misfits Boxing, said he was recently able to raise some money after getting influencers such as Logan Paul, KSI and Tommy Fury to sign a glove which he auctioned off for £1,000. That paid for these cabinets, which cost around £400 each. So there you go, boxing gloves paid for those cabinets that you're going to see at Millwall. His aim is to encourage companies to pay for them and keep raising money himself for those who can't afford one themselves. My plan is to get TFL involved to get them on buses and trains. That way, if there's an incident, people will know that the next bus will have one on. He added that he wants to get one in Croydon on the road where the girl was killed recently. So there you go. So they're locked. You need the code to get in. Well, that kind of slows everything down, doesn't it? Well, understandable, because people just open them up and just steal what's inside and just to throw it around and be a vandal. So you need to call 999, tell them where you are, and they'll give you the code to open it. Sean Daly, CEO of Mill Community Trust, said agreeing to install the life-saving equipment was a no-brainer. We work very closely with the police, and unfortunately there are a lot of incidents that happen that could benefit from something like this, but it's not just for crime, it could be used for accidents as well. So installing it was a no-brainer for us. The good thing about it being on the outside of the building is that it's open to the whole of the public. He added that they've already taken some steps to provide access to life-saving equipment before now. We had a defibrillator installed at Lewisham Lions about 3 years ago, and it's surprising how many times it's used already by the public. Cool. Okay. There is now one cabinet at the Lewisham Lions Centre and one at the Mill FC ground. Where though? I know it was on. There was a picture of it, wasn't there? It's not inside the ground. It must be outside the ground then. There was a picture up front. Yeah, there. No, that was the same one. So where's the one at Millwall then? That's the Lions Centre. Where's the one at Millwall? No idea. Now, moving on to this. It's Christmas! Christmas 2023 at the Den. The festive period is just around the corner. Why not celebrate it with Millwall Football Club? Because the results are shit? I don't know. The Lions have a host of events planned at the Den in December, and we want you there to enjoy them all. Take a look at what's on offer and how to book below. So here we go. Thursday the 7th of December. So in 4 weeks' time. Millwall Football Club is pleased to announce that the annual Christmas Tree of Remembrance service will be taking place at the Den's Memorial Garden on Thursday the 7th of December. Supporters will be given the opportunity to write a message on a wooden heart to remember a loved one, which will then be hung on the Lions' Christmas tree. The service, led by Father Home Bowman, MBE, will commence at 7 p.m. Gates will open at 6 and it's free for everyone to attend. Hot chocolate and mince pies will be available for all attendees, with Harry's Bar open for those that wish to purchase further refreshments. The main car park at the Den, meanwhile, will be available on a first-come, first-served basis with limited availability. Book your free place below and don't forget to wrap up warm, as this service will take place outside. Millwall Christmas Party Night. Millwall Football Club's 2023 Christmas Party is now on sale. Join your friends and family on Friday 8th of December in Harry's Bar from 7 p.m. to midnight. Enjoy a buffet and a DJ for just £20 per person. Tickets for this event need to be purchased in advance and can be bought through the button below. Over 18s only. Yeah, so the way they were selling this last year is basically it's a Christmas party that if you're part of a work group that are very small or you're not having your own works Christmas party, you can come here. If you're self-employed, you wanna have a work Christmas party with other people, you can go to this one. Junior Lions Christmas Party on Sunday the 10th. So that weekend, 8th of December is the main one, Friday the 8th, and Sunday the 10th is the kids one. Millwall Football Club's 2023 Junior Lions Christmas Party will take place on Sunday the 10th of December between 1:30 and 4:30 p.m. at the Den. Partygoers will be able to enjoy a disco, face painting, an auction, and much more. Junior Lions will also be treated to an early present from Father Christmas himself in his magical grotto. Throughout the afternoon, Junior Lions will get a chance to meet their heroes, as Millwall's first team squad will be making an appearance. Tickets are on sale now, priced at £8 adults, £6 juniors. Tickets are limited, so book now to avoid disappointment. This event is exclusive to 23-24 Junior Lion members and season ticket holders, plus their guests. And then there's the match on Saturday the 16th of December. That's a home game against Huddersfield. Thursday the 21st of December, Junior Lions Christmas Tour. More on that in a minute. The Boxing Day game, Millwall versus QPR, that's at home. And then Friday the 29th of December, Millwall versus Norwich City. So 3 games there over Christmas. Not bad. Not bad. Now, moving on to that tour. New stadium tour dates are on sale now. A new batch of stadium tour dates are now on sale. Step into Millwall history, experience the magic within, walk the path. Many Lions legends have taken and filled the passion in SC16 on our 1-hour guided tour. The Den is one of the most iconic football stadiums in England, making it the perfect place to learn all about the colourful history and heritage of Millwall Football Club. The guided tour will start in the executive lounge before stopping off at various locations in the stadium, such as the director's box, the press area, and Paul Jiggins' media suite. And they still haven't updated it. They haven't updated it. Oh, fire alarm's going off. I'm gonna have to end the video. You can see it there.